The Achaeans, the two Aeantes, Tydides, and Odysseus spurred them on to attack. The troops themselves had no fear, no dread of the Trojans' power and breakneck charges. No, they stood their ground like heavy thunderheads, stacked up on the towering mountain tops by Cronus' son, stock still in a windless calm when the raging north wind and his gusty, ripping friends that had screamed down to rout dark clouds have fallen dead asleep. So staunch they stood the Trojan onslaught, never shrinking once as Atrides ranged the ranks, shouting out commands. Now be men, my friends, courage, come, take heart. Dread what comrades say of you here in bloody combat. When men dread that, more men come through alive. When soldiers break and run, goodbye glory, goodbye all defenses. A flash, a sudden hurl, and Atrides speared a champion out in front. It was Prince Aeneas' comrade in arms, Deicoon, Pergus' son, the Trojans' prize, like Priam's sons. Quick as he always was to join the forward ranks, now his shield took powerful Agamemnon's spear, but failed to deflect it. Straight through it smashed, bronze splitting his belt and plunging down his guts. He fell, thundering, armor ringing against him. There, Aeneas replied in kind, and killed two Argive captains, Diocles' two sons, Orsilochus flanking Crethon. Their father lived in the fortress town of Phera, a man of wealth and worth, born of Alpheus river running wide through Pylian hills, the stream that sired Ortilochus to rule their many men. Ortilochus sired Diocles, that proud heart, and Diocles bred Orsilochus, twinned with Crethon, drilled for any fight. And reaching their prime, they joined the Argives, sailing the black ships outward bound for the stallion land of Troy, all for the sons of Atreus, to fight to the end and win their honor back. So death put an end to both, wrapped them both in night, fresh as two young lions off on the mountain ridges, twins reared by a lioness deep in the dark glades that ravage shepherds' steadings, mauling the cattle and fat sheep till it's their turn to die, hacked down by the cleaving bronze blades in the shepherds' hands. So here the twins were laid low at Aeneas' hands. Down they crashed like lofty pine trees axed. Both down, but Menelaus pitied them both, yes, and out for blood he burst through the front, helmed in fiery bronze, shaking his spear, and Ares' fury drove him, Ares, hoping to see him crushed at Aeneas' hands. Antilochus marked him now, great Nestor's son, went racing across the front himself, terrified for the Lord of armies. What if he were killed? Their hard campaigning just might come to grief. As Aeneas and Menelaus came within arm's reach, waving whetted spears in each other's faces, nerved to fight it out, Antilochus rushed in, tensing shoulder to shoulder by his captain now. And Aeneas shrank from battle, fast as he was in arms, when he saw that pair of fighters side by side, standing their ground against him. Once they dragged the bodies back to their lines, they dropped the luckless twins in companions' open arms, and round they swung again to fight in the first ranks. And next they killed Pylaemenes, tough as Ares, a captain heading the Paphlagonian shieldsmen, hot-blooded men. Menelaus, the famous spearman, stabbed him right where he stood, the spear point pounding his collarbone to splinters. Antilochus killed his charioteer and steady henchman Medon, Atimneus' strapping son. just wheeling his racers round as Antilochus winged a rock and smashed his elbow. Out of his grip the reins, white with ivory, flew and slipped to the ground, entangled in the dust. Antilochus sprang, he plunged a sword in his temple, and Medon, gasping, hurled from his bolted car face first, head and shoulders stuck in a dune a good long time, for the sand was soft and deep, his lucky day, till his own horses trampled him down flat as Antilochus lashed them hard and drove them back to Achaea's waiting ranks. But Hector marked them across the lines and rushed them now with a cry, and Trojan shock troops backed him full strength. And Ares led them in with the deadly queen Enyo, bringing uproar on the savage chaos of battle, the god of combat wielding his giant shaft in hand, now ranging ahead of Hector, now behind him. Ares there, and for all his war cries Diomedes shrank at the sight, as a man at a loss, helpless, crossing a vast plain, halts short at a river rapid surging out to sea, takes one look at the water roaring up in foam, and springs back with a leap. So he recoiled, shouting out to comrades, "Oh, my friends, what fools we were to marvel at wondrous Hector! What a spearman," we said, "and what a daring fighter! But a god goes with him always, beating off disaster. Look, that's Ares beside him now, just like a mortal. Give ground, but faces fronting the Trojans always. No use trying to fight the gods in force."